Have you ever wondered what happened to an entire nation that simply vanished? Imagine millions of people, families, farmers, warriors, priests, all disappearing into the pages of history, never to return as a recognizable people again. This isn't the plot of a mystery novel or a Hollywood movie. It's one of the most profound enigmas in biblical and world history, the disappearance of the 10 tribes of Israel. What led to their exile? Where did they go? And are they really lost? Or did God write a deeper story behind the scenes? Join me on this journey through time, scripture, and archaeology as we explore the fate and legacy of the 10 lost tribes of Israel. The story begins after the reign of King Solomon, when the once unified kingdom of Israel split in two around 930 BCE. 10 tribes formed the northern kingdom of Israel, while Judah and Benjamin, with many Levites, became the southern kingdom of Judah. The northern kingdom, often called the House of Israel, had its capital in Samaria, but its history was marred by idolatry, political instability, and conflict. The Bible records repeated warnings from prophets like Hosea, Amos, and Elijah, calling the people to return to God. But the nation didn't listen. Enter Assyria. In the 8th century BCE, the Assyrian Empire was expanding aggressively. Under Tiglath-Pileser III, they invaded Israelite territory around 734 BCE, deporting thousands from Galilee and Gilead. 2 Kings 15:29. But the final blow came in 722 BCE. After a 3-year siege, the Assyrian king Shalmaneser V and later Sargon I captured Samaria. Scripture confirms this in 2 Kings 17:6. In the 9th year of Hoshea, the king of Assyria captured Samaria and deported the Israelites to Assyria. Sargon I boasted that he took 27,290 Israelites and resettled them across the empire. This was not a one-time event. Over 2 decades, the Assyrians launched multiple deportations, dismantling the northern kingdom bit by bit. The Israelites were resettled in places like Hala, Habor, and the cities of the Medes. Assyrian policy was strategic: scatter conquered peoples to prevent rebellion, and it worked. Some Israelites were absorbed into Assyrian society. Archaeological finds like cuneiform tablets and army rosters show Israelite names appearing across Mesopotamia. Skilled individuals served as craftsmen, soldiers, and even royal officials. Others likely faced harsh conditions and cultural erasure. Meanwhile, foreigners from other lands were brought into Israel's territory. These new settlers intermarried with the few Israelites who remained, eventually forming the Samaritan people we read about in the New Testament. And so, the 10 tribes disappeared from the historical record. They didn't return like the Judeans did after Babylonian exile. Over generations, they assimilated, adopting new languages, customs, and religions. They were no longer identifiable as distinct tribes, hence the term, the Lost 10 Tribes. But were they truly lost? The prophets didn't think so. Isaiah 11:11-12 declares, "The Lord will reach out his hand a second time to reclaim the surviving remnant of his people. He will assemble the scattered people of Judah and gather the dispersed of Israel from the 4 corners of the earth." Ezekiel 37 famously speaks of 2 sticks, Judah and Ephraim, being joined into one. These prophecies suggest that God sees the 10 tribes not as forgotten, but as part of a future restoration. Throughout Jewish history, rabbis, scholars, and travelers speculated about the 10 tribes. Some imagined they lived beyond a mythical river called the Sambation. Others thought they had formed distant kingdoms. The 1st century historian Josephus claimed they still existed beyond the Euphrates. And in the New Testament, James addresses his letter to the 12 tribes in the dispersion, James 1:1, showing that early Christians held hope for their inclusion among the nations. Theologically, the 10 tribes symbolize both judgment and hope. They remind us of the consequences of covenant breaking, but also of God's enduring promise to restore. From a Christian perspective, the story takes on deeper spiritual meaning. Jesus spoke of seeking the lost sheep of the house of Israel, Matthew 15:24. Paul spoke of the hope that all Israel will be saved, Romans 11:26. Early Christians viewed the church as a gathering of both Jews and Gentiles, including any remnants of the lost tribes, now mingled among the nations. Revelation 7 symbolically includes 12,000 from each of the 12 tribes, suggesting that before God, none are forgotten. What does this ancient mystery have to do with you and me today? First, it reminds us that history is fragile. A nation can rise, thrive, and vanish, and yet God's purposes endure. The 10 tribes may be lost to human records, but not to God. Second, it reminds us of the dangers of forgetting who we are. The northern kingdom abandoned their covenant. They traded faithfulness for convenience, and their identity dissolved. That's a warning for every generation. Third, and most importantly, it reminds us of hope. God gathers the scattered. He restores the broken. He remembers the forgotten. Maybe you feel lost or scattered in your own life, but the God who remembers the lost tribes also remembers you. Isaiah 49:15-16 says, "Can a mother forget the baby at her breast? Though she may forget, I will not forget you. See, I have engraved you on the palms of my hands." So here's the question. Are you living as someone who remembers your identity in God, or are you drifting like those ancient tribes? Their story is a mirror. Will we return to the Lord while there's still time? Will we trust that He can restore what feels lost? The mystery of the 10 tribes isn't just a lesson in history. It's a call to faith. Thanks for watching, and if this stirred something in your heart, share it with someone who might be searching for meaning. And remember, no one is truly lost when they're in God's hands. See you in the next video.